Are you ready to escape the poverty programming trap? If you didn't even know there is a poverty programming trap, you are in for one heck of an episode. Buckle up. I'm Tracy from the Money Boss Show, and I am here to help you step into your personal power, make more money, and build the life of your dreams. Do me a favor if you want any of those three. Like this episode and subscribe to get all future episodes because I am going to teach you how to step into your personal power, build the life of your dreams, and make more money. You can do it. So many people are living quiet lives of desperation. We have been sold on the American dream, the Canadian dream, the European dream, wherever you are tuned in from. And here's the thing. The gap between making it and living a comfortable life is getting bigger and bigger. People are having a hard time making it by, and it doesn't need to be that way. And here is the secret. There is a poverty programming trap that everybody is in. Call it the matrix, call it the system, call it whatever you want. You are being programmed for poverty daily. So we are going to deal with how to escape the trap and step into your personal power, make more money, and build the life of your dreams. But before that, let's bring awareness to the fact that you are stuck in poverty programming. If you're not living the life of your dreams with an abundance of money in this world, with the greatest opportunity ever for the individual to make a good living, if you're not experiencing abundance, that's your first sign that you're stuck in the poverty programming. So let's bring awareness to it. Two things. You have been programmed, and daily, this whole world is set up to keep you stuck, broke, and unhappy. A cog in the wheel, a rat in the race, whatever you want to call it, enough to just get by. So let's step back. From 0 to 7 years old, you are programmed. This is when we receive 98% of our subconscious programming. Subconscious mind drives our thoughts, our feelings, all our automatic behaviors. Our conscious mind is our day-to-day mind, but our programming, how we feel about the world, about our family, about the community, about our opportunity, that was all programmed from 0 to 7 years old. And most people won't believe it because we think we're all these brilliant adults with a lot of information, walking around, conquering the world. But the problem is, unless we've done some work and uncovered our programming, our limiting beliefs, our money story, we're operating from old information. And I'm going to include a link that I cover all of this in a previous episode. I'll include that here, but I'm going to touch on it quick for the purposes of this episode. We're programmed. 0 to 7 years old is when 98% of our beliefs about everything in this world, about our potential, that's when it's formed. So look back to your childhood. Who's your family? What's your community, your church? What was happening in your life? Because chances are you're going to be reliving that in your present life. And those are the beliefs that you hold. So most people don't think they could be rich because they weren't born rich. Here's the thing. You were either born into poverty or middle class or a rich life. Whatever you were born into programs you about how the world is. If you were born into a rich family, money's abundant, right? There's lots of money for everything. If you're born into poverty, oh my goodness, you're struggling. If you're born into middle class, you're living a middle class life. So realize there's two things. You were programmed and set up in your mental operating system by the time you're 7 years old. And chances are, if you're 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, you're still operating with that programming. So we can get out of it, and we'll cover that right away. But know that, number one, you're programmed just by the nature of the way our brain works and our upbringing. Number two, We are being programmed on a daily basis for poverty, for fear, to keep us paralyzed and stuck. If you look around, again, we probably live in a similar situation to what we grew up in. So we're repeating what we grew up in and seeing and recreating that as our experience now, because that's what we know and that's what our brain will create for us. But here's the thing, your surroundings. If you live in a back alley, in a dumpster, that is what you think is possible for life. You don't see any other possibilities. So you look around, that's all you see. Then you wake up and you recreate that reality day after day after day, because that's what you see. So your life programs you daily. And then we turn on the news, and we all know what buckets of fun and great news that is, right? Never. It's all poverty, death, destruction. It's designed to keep you programmed to poverty, to fear, keeping you within the system, just working, showing up. Because if you get out of fear and realize there's opportunity, you'll start to act that way and create that way, and then you become powerful. And if everybody's the most powerful individual that they are, well, we might pay more attention to the politicians and the individuals running the world, and that wouldn't be so great for the system, right? So you are programmed by how you grew up, the community you live in, your current reality, the news you watch, the movies you watch, the people you hang around with, everything you do. We are programmed for poverty. Unless you live in a rich life and you hang out at the country club and they're talking about all the vast opportunities at their fingertips because they are programmed for wealth, to spot wealth, and they have money so they can take advantage of this. Unless you're hanging around wealthy people, you're going to be living a poverty programmed life. So how do we overcome this? Awareness is number one. Realize how you grew up is how you were programmed, and it's likely how you're living right now. So number one step is going, oh, right. I am living very similar to my parents, doing the same thing, going to the same church, living the same life, thinking the same thing, following the same habits. Oh, wait a minute. There's people that were poor that got rich. There's an awareness. If they can do it, I can do it. So you start to realize that there's individuals that live a different life than you do. And here's the thing. There's a science to getting rich. Money is a skill. And there's nobody that is special. We're all given a little bit different natural gifts, but we all have the ability to create money because it's a skill. So number one, to escape the poverty programming trap is the awareness that you're in it and that there's others that have got out of it, and you can too. Number two, reprogramming. So what does that mean? Well, if you look around, what's your life? Do you like your life? If so, then I would just say scroll to the next video. But if you want a bigger, better, brighter future, including more money and happiness and fun things, that's available for you. So you need to start to become, act like, think like, learn like the person that makes money. So reprogramming yourself. That could be various things. It could be affirmations. It can be hypnosis. It's simply, we're going to talk about this right away, garbage in, garbage out. So if you want to reprogram your brain, you need to set your brain up to take in good stuff. So here's the thing. If you're watching news every day, notice how that makes you feel. It's probably like, oh, a heavy feeling, maybe in your mind, in your heart, in your stomach, depending where your center is. If you watch news and you leave the news feeling yucky, why are you doing that to yourself? If you watch a movie and it's death and destruction and you feel terrible after, why are you doing that? The world operates on vibration, energy. And every time you drop your vibration by death and destruction and poverty and worry and fear and doubt and uncertainty, every time you drop your vibration, you go to a level down here. Let's say poverty is up here. It's a high vibration to make money and to be living in your dreams and to be able to attract and build the future you want. So if you're watching news, if you're doing the scroll on social media, how do you feel after? If you feel anything but fantastic, why are you doing it? It's dropping your vibration. And money is a high vibration, like I said. So every time you're taking garbage in through your eyes, you're programming your brain that that's what reality is. Do you get what I mean? So if you're watching the news and it's, oh, the recession, there's no opportunity. Here's the thing. There are more millionaires made in a recession and bad time than in good times. The people that are making the money aren't watching the news and being programmed by the poverty programming trap. News, media, movies, all of that stuff. No, they're out learning. They shut the garbage off and then they stop taking that in because it is very hard to overcome what we take in through our eyes and our ears. If all you hear is poverty, recession, people going broke, interest rates high, inflation, not making it by, it is very hard to conquer what your brain is taking in with different information. You can, I mean, you could take that garbage in and then take in good stuff, but does it neutralize? Shut the garbage off. Chances are, if something big in the world happens, you're going to hear about it. You don't need the news. That's what people say. Oh, I need to be informed. What do you need to be informed about? Death, destruction, poverty, high interest rates, people going broke, people being killed. There's your daily news. Shut it off. If anything important happens, you'll find out. Trust me, I haven't watched the news since I was 15 years old because I watch my family watch it every day. Start off bright and then, oh, and then you could just see their energy being sapped. I'm like, why do people do this to themselves? Because I was always keen to live my best life, to achieve my dreams. I'm like, this doesn't make me feel good. And when I don't feel good, I can't do good. And when I can't do good, I can't achieve good. And when I can't achieve well, then my results are poor. This doesn't make sense. So I haven't watched the news since like 15 or before that. Shut the news off. Be careful of the movies. They program you that rich people are bad. Every hero in a movie is the poor guy, the underdog. Guess who the bad guy is? The rich guy. Coincidence? That's subliminal programming for you to hate rich people. So you stay comfortable, so you don't try to be rich. Because who wants to be rich if you're going to be a bad guy? Our greatest need as humans is to fit in and be good. So if rich people are bad, we don't want to be that. So we stay stuck and then we belong to the herd, the pack, humanity, our group. Our biggest need is to belong. If you start to step out and go towards wealth, you're the tall poppy. Tall poppy gets trimmed. Okay, so awareness, garbage in, garbage out. So if you can shut the garbage off, you're like leaps and bounds ahead of the world. And notice you're going to start to feel better quickly. Shut the news off, shut the radio off, stop the scroll or limit it. It doesn't make you feel good. Death by comparison, right? Shut that all off and start taking in good stuff. What is that? Okay, books. What is that? Podcasts, YouTube videos. There are a lot of channels like this podcast and this video show that you're watching right now. It's empowering. It's teaching you to step into your personal power. It's giving you a message of wealth and prosperity versus death, destruction, and poverty. So tune out all the negative stuff and focus on the good. Because look around. While there's a lot of people going broke and starving, while there's homeless people, which is terrible and heartbreaking, you being stuck as part of that group does not help anybody. If you can focus yourself to wealth and prosperity and start to step out of that, you can create wealth. And then that's how you start to impact your life, your family, your future generations, your extended family, your friends, your community. You can build businesses, employ people, right? Garbage in the eyes and ears, garbage comes out in what you create. That's as simple as I can put it. So if you want to reprogram yourself, number one, stop anything that doesn't make you feel good. Pay attention to how everything makes you feel. If it makes you feel bad in your mind, in your heart, in your stomach, we all have that different center. Wherever it makes you feel bad, I give you permission to just stop. Nobody requires you to watch the news and read books and just watch movies where people die at the end and then you're crying and you feel terrible, dropping your vibration. Number one step to reprogramming, shut the garbage off and start conditioning your mind with positive. Here's a story. When I was young, I discovered The Secret. That was my gateway. And while it's not the full story and the full map to wealth, it's definitely the start. The law of attraction. What you think about and the vibration you hold is what you start to attract. Of course, you need to take action and all the other stuff they forget to tell you. But what you think about, what you focus on becomes your reality. So again, if you're taking in all that garbage, your mind says, oh, this is what the world is. Okay, we'll just keep on with our life. If you shut that off and then you start focusing on wealth and prosperity and all the people that are getting rich, then you look around at all these people that aren't doing well and you're like, what's going on? And it doesn't quite jive for a while. But as long as you continue to tune that garbage out and focus on wealth and prosperity, you start to step forward. You reprogram yourself to see opportunity versus all the terrible stuff that's happening in the world that they want to keep you focused on. So reprogramming starts with shutting the garbage off and conditioning your mind with wealth and prosperity. Books, podcasts, movies, all that good stuff. Taking your focus back. One of the most important things is realizing that this world is set up to keep you programmed for poverty. And it's really set up to rob you of your most precious resources: time, money, energy, focus, and love. If they can take you and rob you of all those resources by keeping you busy and distracted and tired, you'll never achieve your dream life because you're too tired, you're too broke, you're too busy, right? They take your time so that you can go to work, and you need a lot of hours to make enough money to make it by. So they take your time, which is the one thing you can't get back. You can buy new stuff, but you can't get time back. Then they take your money by the constant bombardment of all the things that you need that are going to make you happy. That Gucci purse, that Guess watch, the this, that, everything. They keep you going to the mall. So you spend your time making that money, wasting your most precious resource, which is time. Then you make the money, and then they rob you of the money by the constant consumerism, keeping you in the consumer working rat race. And then here's the thing, because you're always working so hard to have money to be able to afford the things that you need, reality, but also making money to pay off debt for stuff that you bought with money you didn't have, you're robbed of your energy. And in order to break out of poverty in this world, you need a lot of energy, a lot of focus. You need the focus of an athlete to tune out that garbage, but you need a lot of energy, because if you're going to break out of the system, out of the poverty, you're going to have to do your job and then start a side hustle. You're going to have the energy and the focus to read the books, to study in your spare time. But they rob you of that, making you work to pay for your living and your consumer debt. It's how it's set up. And most importantly, when they've robbed you of your time, your money, your energy, and your focus, what do you have left for love? And at the end of the day, the vibration of wealth and success and happiness is love, right? How many relationships end because of financial concerns? A lot of them. How many people are unhappy because they're having a hard time making it by? Majority of the world. And guess what? When we're tired, stressed, broke, scattered in our attention, are we the best person that we can be? Are we the most loving? No. So the system is designed to keep you in poverty and to rob you of your most precious resources. Next one, guard your resources. So what does that mean? Be careful with your spending. Don't overspend, because don't we all realize you go buy that guest bag and you're happy for what? A week? Then it wears off and you need the next thing. But you still have that guest purse on the credit card and you're getting further and further in debt. And it's very hard to pay for the interest, let alone the whole cost of the debt you've wrapped up. Take control of your resources, your time, your money, your energy, your focus, and then, of course, love, like I said. Guard your resources. If you can shut off all the garbage, you can focus. You can start to learn about wealth and prosperity. And then you start to learn new skills. You launch your side hustle because you're not losing your focus and your time and your energy watching Netflix. You take all your resources and say, I want to launch a business. You set that as your goal. You tune everything else out and you work towards it, right? Of course, you need time for family and friends and all that. But what I'm saying is, instead of scattering your time, your money, your energy, all of that about with no focus and no goal, like a ship at sea without a direction, you need to focus, focus, focus. What do you want for your life, right? Next one, stop groupthink. Automatically, by shutting off the news and the doom scroll and all of the outside stuff, you become less and less conditioned by the minds of others. Research everything on your own. Don't take somebody else's word and opinion. That's what they think. What's that based on? Their opinion? Do they know? Is it facts? Is it safe? Stop groupthink. You need to question everybody and go, what are their motives? What is that based on? And it's not cynical or skeptical, maybe you can call it that. But the thing is, we need to realize that we are our biggest advocate. And if we don't focus ourselves and direct our own ship, nobody else is going to do it. We're just going to be tossed about at sea by all the bad news, by the boss, by our family's desires, by our kids' desires, by life, by debt. You're just a ship at sea without a direction, without an anchor, without a plan. And what happens when stormy waters come? The ending ain't so great. You need to become the captain of your own ship. Cheesy, but it's one of my favorite sayings, right? Who's the captain of your ship? Is your ship without a captain? You're just doing the status quo, going to work and taking in all the programming, just going along with groupthink and thinking that life's going to work out better without changing what you're doing. Stop groupthink. And I don't even know what we're at. We'll wrap it up with this. Realize that you are a powerful creator. In all the content that I put out, the channel's called Money Boss. But at the end of the day, money is the byproduct. The whole path and journey is about developing your personal power, making more money. And when you have personal power and more money, you can build the life of your dreams. If you don't have personal power, because you're a ship at sea, distracted, unfocused, and uncontrolled, and if you don't have money, it's very hard to take control of your future and change, right? If you don't change what you're doing today, you're going to have a very similar tomorrow, right? Because something has to change. If you always do what you've always done, you'll always get what you've always got. Your life today is a byproduct of your thoughts, choices, decision, action, motivation, everything from yesterday. If you don't change that today, your future looks the same tomorrow. So, what new skills, desires, attitudes, actions do you need today to create a different future? So, realize that you are a powerful creator. And here's the thing, somebody's creating your reality. Is it you or is it everything around you? What do you want for your life? If you have big dreams, you need to become the captain of your ship and realize that every day, every hour, every minute, you're creating your reality. I hope you found this helpful. This information I have learned over years and years of winning, losing, going, oh, wait a minute. This has been a lot of learnings. And to me, I find it heartbreaking that people are just being tossed around at sea, living lives of quiet desperation with no chance of ever reaching their dreams when it doesn't need to be that hard. Life is not meant to be a struggle. I hope you found this helpful. If you like this episode, like it, subscribe, and tune in to the next episode. We'll see you then.